The immortal pen of James Fenimore Cooper brings you thrilling tales of excitement, blazing action on the early American frontier, stirring adventures filled with the daring and courage of Hawkeye, first of the long rifles, and his blood brother, Chingachcook, last of the Mohicans.
Well, my compliments to you, son. You sure took care of that redskin. What happened?
He was trying to shoot you in the back. But I'm afraid I'm not in the best of shape for this sort of thing. I haven't had a go at Indian wrestling since I was a boy.
Reckon you saved us from being bushwhacked. Kind of like to know who we're thanking.
I'm Lieutenant John Ewing, Royal Rifles, en route to Fort Oshkosh.
Since when did the Army trade them red coats for buckskins?
My uniform's neatly tucked in my pack. A spanking new lieutenant like myself has to be presentable when he reports to a commandant for the first time.
Ewing. Of course, old General Ewing's boy. You couldn't be anyone else.
Why, yes. Did you know him?
Yeah. You too, when you're about that high. One of my first jobs was scouting for your pa.
He was good soldier.
And so was my grandfather before him.
Right proud to meet you, Lieutenant. I'm called Hawkeye. This is Chingachcook, my blood brother.
It's a pleasure.
More like our pleasure. I guess we wouldn't be standing here at John if you hadn't jumped on him. You'll find yourself mighty welcome at Fort Oshkosh. Folks thereabouts still remember your pa.
I requested my assignment here because I've always felt this country was home. I speak Iroquois and several other Indian tongues. I was brought up knowing all the Indian ways.
You take. Me believe your father, General. Not bring prisoner to fort. First time.
Lieutenant John Ewing reporting as ordered, sir. Well, at ease, Lieutenant. We're glad to have you with us, Ewing. Hawkeye.
Major?
How did you fare with the prisoner?
Nothing short of torture will make him open his mouth. Maybe I didn't make myself clear, Major. That Winnebago is the lieutenant's prisoner, not mine. He captured him when Chingachcook and me weren't even looking.
Single-handed, eh? Not quite, sir. I was well supported. I might not have been so brave if Hawkeye and Chingachcook weren't nearby.
Now, don't throw a bushel over your light. That redskin was drawing a bead on us. Lieutenant came along, spoiled his aim, and took him as pretty as you please.
It'll be a pleasure to report this to your father. I'd rather you wouldn't, sir. But Ewing, I'm sure your father would be most proud. It's a personal matter, sir. Oh, very well, Ewing. I have some business with Hawkeye. I want you to listen. It may brief you on some of our problems.
Yes, sir.
Get comfortable, Hawkeye. This may take some time. The capture of that brave, wearing war paint, confirms the rumors that the Winnebagos have joined Ely Wassett and his renegade band. Ely Wassett? That was the name of my boyhood playmate. His father was a council chief for the Seneca, Tamaqua, a signer of the peace treaty.
Tamaqua dead. Ely Wassett has rejected the treaty and has been raising a hornet's nest ever since.
We were blood brothers, like you and Chingachcook. Why, when I left for England, he traveled 100 miles with me, just so we could be together that much longer. Lieutenant, it's unfortunate, but playful young cubs do grow up and become deadly marauders. Now, by the day after tomorrow, our ammunition wagons should leave from headquarters. They're coming by way of Big Lake. Now, without them, or if they should fall into Ely Wassett's hands, nobody in this fort would be safe.
Somebody ought to keep an eye on Ely Wassett's camp.
There isn't a scout in the fort who'd volunteer for the assignment. Ely Wassett's as sharp as a fox. And capture means death by torture. Sir, I'd like to volunteer for the assignment. I admire your courage, Lieutenant, but this calls for experienced scouts, woodsmen.
You got him, Major.
You're always a step ahead of my request, Hawkeye. How many men do you need?
More men would just be in the road.
When can I expect you back?
Oh, a week, maybe 2. Depends on what we run into.
Well, good luck.
I'd rather have luck than brains any time, Major.
And thank you.
Bye, Lieutenant.
Could I speak to you in confidence, sir?
Well, certainly, Lieutenant. Sit down.
Oh, what's on your mind? I'm rather embarrassed to bring this up, sir. It's that personal matter. It concerns my relationship with my father.
Are you quite sure I'm the proper person to discuss an intimate matter with?
Quite sure. You see, sir, it's a problem of being accepted for what you are.
Just because you're the Chief of Staff's son doesn't mean you'll get any special consideration under my command.
If you really mean that, Major, why did you give Hawkeye the duty I volunteered for?
Well, I merely chose the man best qualified for the job.
Without meaning any disrespect, sir, may I remind you that Hawkeye is risking his life with an enemy whom I can face as a friend.
If you're referring to Ellie Wassett, he's nobody's friend.
When Ely Wassett and I were boys together, we established a set of signals to identify each other in the woods. I haven't forgotten them, and I'm sure he hasn't. If I can only speak to him, I'm sure I can convince him to come in peacefully.
You put me between the hammer and the anvil, Ewing. If anything were to happen to you, how would I ever explain to your father that I sent a green lieutenant into the enemy's camp?
There you are, sir. My father again. If I were Lieutenant Jones and proposed this, would you let me go?
Prepare to leave. I'll have Hawkeye wait for you.
Yes, sir.
We're getting near Ely Wassett's camp. Keep your eyes peeled. He might have scouts out.
Seneca.
Winnebagos. Still want to powwow with that buzzard?
Under that face, the boy I knew, my blood brother.
His brother only to Wolf now. Want to sink fangs into white man.
You stay here, Lieutenant. Chingachcook and me are going to circle around, try to get in closer. We got to find out what Ely Wassett's up to.
But I came along to talk to him.
Now, you're a soldier, Lieutenant. Got to know it isn't good tactics to risk all your troops at the same time if you don't have to.
Very well. I'll wait here until you get back.
If we don't, it's up to you to get word to Major Duffy about this gathering of the tribes.
Together, the Seneca and Winnebago will bring flame and arrow to white devils everywhere. We will drive them from the land of our fathers as Manitou wills.
If the lieutenant heard this, he wouldn't be so fired anxious to meet Ely Wassett.
It's been a long time, my blood brother. But I knew you'd never forget.
Ely Wassett never forget anything.
I promised you, the moment I got my commission, I'd come back home.
My brother is Yankee's soldier now.
Lieutenant. And this is my first assignment. To speak to you about keeping the peace. I convinced my major that two blood brothers like ourselves could smooth out the difficulties without resorting to violence.
Like time when we're young, make small peace council.
Exactly. I knew you'd see it this way once we got together again. Return with me to Fort Oshkosh, Ely Wassett. Bring some of your warriors. These chiefs, too. Now that we're both grown up, We can have a big peace council.
Looks like he might get away with it after all. Never before me see sheep pull fangs of wolf.
How many warriors I bring?
10, 15, a guard of honor befitting a leader like yourself. Major Duffy will be more than pleased to welcome you.
All want go to fort. I not know which to choose.
You know your warriors better than I do, Iliwasit. Why not select the bravest for this honor?
I choose Keris, Antate. You want go to fort? Need gun, not lance.
You won't need any weapons.
You wrong. Need plenty weapon when take fort.
Take the fort? You can't mean what you're saying, my blood brother.
No white man Iliwasit's blood brother. Iliwasit cut blood tie 12 moon ago. White men come to my father's teepee, filled with firewater. Shoot Tamakwa, kill my mother. And now Iliwasit kill all white men. And you, Yankee soldier, tell where get gun for warpath. Take him to torture stage. Blood of Iliwasit in his veins make him brave much torture. But him still white man. Heart, like rabbit, make tongue tell everything. We go now. Get wagons, get many guns. We get guns!
See what they're up to. And you, my brother, I'm gonna go pick up what's left of our friend.
Well, there's only one thing we can do now, Hawkeye. March towards Big Lake. At least we might be able to help those wagons get through. Sound General Quarters, full packs, battle order.
Too late to help wagons now. Iliwasit capture. Kill everybody.
No, I'll have to accept Ewing's resignation. Such a fine, promising career. And he had to throw it all away because he was too weak a soldier to die with his lips sealed.
Indian torture, much cruel.
They can make a man forget he's got a soul, let alone loosen his tongue.
Yes, but if he'd only listened to you instead of signaling Iliwasit.
I reckon you or me might have done the same thing. Pretty hard to believe that your own blood brothers turned into a dirty double-crossing snake.
Well, actually, I'm as much to blame as he is. I should never have let him go with you in the first place.
Yeah, I reckon I was wrong, too. I shouldn't have left him alone. Where's the lieutenant now?
Packing. Well, what's done is done. We can't sit here lamenting. The order for General Quarters stands. I want every able-bodied man ready within half an hour.
Major, that's an order you ought to think over. You're leaving the fort awful easy pickings with no one to defend it.
I have no choice.
Well, that depends on what Iliwasit's up to.
Me follow Iliwasit and braves to camp. They make victory dance.
Victory dance. If I know anything about Winnebagos, there's no telling how long they'll keep celebrating. They sit around talking and boasting about what they're going to do next.
In that case, attack is my best defense. We'll take them by surprise.
Not in redcoats, Major. Out in the forest, they're a little too bright to surprise anyone. It's a job for the militiamen.
I have more than 20 under my command.
Well, that's plenty for what I got in mind.
Well, I've always respected your judgment when it comes to Indian fighting, Hawkeye. I'll issue the orders. When do you plan to leave?
After nightfall. And just in case Iliwasit's got a couple of braves watching us, we'll leave by the back way. I'll see you then. Oh, you going someplace?
You know as well as I do that I resigned my commission.
Yeah, the major did say something about it.
Did he tell you, had I not resigned, I'd have had to face a court-martial?
Well, as much as I know about those court-martials, Lieutenant, I reckon they're the same as any other kind of trial. You've got to be proven guilty before you're convicted.
Nothing has to be proved in my case. I admit my guilt. I admit divulging a military secret. I admit I'm not a soldier in the Ewing tradition.
No, you didn't exactly volunteer those answers to Ely Wassett. Bigger and stronger men than you have cracked wide open when tied to a torture stake.
Leave me alone, Hawkeye. I'm not worthy of your sympathy.
Well, I didn't come here to dole out any of that. I came here to ask your help.
Help? From me?
It's pretty rare finding men who know the woods around here like you. I need men like that if Ely Wassett's ever to be stopped.
I don't belong in the forest. I was wrong when I thought this was my home. This place is through with me, and I'm through with it. I'm going to get as far away from it as I can.
Well, I don't blame you for thinking that way, after the beating you took. Chingachcook and me and a handful of militia are going out tonight, after Ely Wassett. No matter what you think about yourself, I'd be right proud to have you alongside me. Well, if you happen to change your mind, why, give me a holler.
Well, good hunting, Hawkeye. I only wish I was going with you.
Someone's got to stay and look after the store, Major. You seen anything of Ewing?
Yes, he left this afternoon.
Say where he was headed?
He mentioned someplace out west. Someplace the Indians call Kentucky.
Oh, I wish he'd told me that. Got an old friend down there he could have looked up, a fellow by the name of Daniel Boone.
If he here to fight by side of Hawkeye, militiamen not need to leave warm bed.
I'm afraid this is one time, Chingachcook, when you're going to need all the firepower you can muster.
Now, stop fretting, Major. We'll get out of this mess yet. Somehow, when you're on the side of right, you usually come out on top.
Well, good luck.
Big snow cover everything. Me scout from here to Bendin River. No tracks.
Yeah, we'll have to move carefully after that point.
White man come. Be ready. No shoot. Seneca medicine man. Before you ambush.
Hear me, white man. Gitche Manitou sent his curse on you. Death is your lot. You cannot escape his vengeance.
Keep the men here. I'm going to see if I can get that fella to swallow some of his own medicine.
Hear me, Manitou. An enemy approaches. Make his knees like water. Cause his blood to run cold.
You've been doing a powerful heap of gabbing, medicine man. Suppose you listen to me for a change.
Don't you recognize me, Hawkeye?
Ewing.
Deploy. You're heading straight into Ely Wassett and his braves.
I hurl the lance of war into the ground. It will mark your grave.
Take back your lance, medicine man. Tell your people we don't want war.
Where's he hidden?
You must die. Behind me, to your left.
Manitou wants peace, just as we do. Where'd you get that outfit?
Had to be in its original owner.
I spit on you and all white men.
Hurry, take cover. They won't shoot while I'm here.
Hear me, Manitou. Make our arms strong. Let not the guns of enemy touch my people. Curse all white men. Give us their scalps to adorn our lodges. We will roam free, as did our fathers.
We're surrounded like sitting ducks. Don't make any sudden moves, but ease toward cover.
Hear me, O Manitou. I dance to you.
Him no medicine man.
Shoot! Shoot!
First, you want to kill. Now try help. Why?
I didn't want to kill you. It was my duty.
After him!
And no matter what you've done, I can't hate you. You're still the blood brother of my boyhood.
Hawkeye!
My blood and your blood go into earth. And with it, Illiwasset's hate. Maybe one day, under kind eye of Manitou, in the happy hunting ground, we be blood brothers again.
And so, for rendering service beyond the call of duty, it is recommended that Lieutenant John Ewing be awarded the Medal of Parliament. A full account of his heroic act accompanies this recommendation. Signed, Major Richard Duffy, Commanding Officer, Fort Oshkosh. The original of that letter was sent to General Alfred Ewing, Chief of Staff.
He'll be proud that I've joined the ranks of the Ewings, just as I am, sir.
Oh, by the way, Lieutenant, while we're at it, we may as well make something else official. I came across this among my effects the other day. Can't imagine how it got there. Some nonsense about your resignation.
You don't mind my saying, Major, sounds like something one of those Seneca medicine men would have done.
Medicine man do many strange things.
Join us again at this same time next week for another of James Fenimore Cooper's gripping tales of the early American frontier. Another exciting adventure of Hawkeye and his blood brother, Chingachcook, last of the Mohicans. immortal pen of James Fenimore Cooper brings you thrilling tales of excitement, blazing action on the early American frontier, stirring adventures filled with the daring and courage of Hawkeye, first of the long rifles, and his blood brother, Chingachcook, last of the Mohicans.
These Delaware braves.
Chingachcook. Look.
Those prints made by white man's horse.
Shoes fitted by a good blacksmith. White man's heavy boot.
What do we do about this?
We'll go to Fort Roberts and report it. Major Tilton, it's a plain case of murder. Those two Indians didn't have a chance.
You may be right, Hawkeye. Perhaps those two Indians were shot by white men, but no chance to defend themselves. But I wonder if they were utterly without guilt on their own.
What do you mean by that, Major?
Do you know a town site called Tarrytown?
Yeah, it's not far from here.
Well, it depends upon what you would call far. At any rate, a merchant of that town, a Mr. Benjamin Stanwell, runs a supply store. Over a period, 3 of his wagons have been robbed. One of his drivers has been murdered by Delaware Indians.
That's not true. Delaware peaceful tribe. Make treaty. Not kill anybody.
According to our reports, the contrary is true. Others have suffered also. You can scarcely blame some of them if they sought revenge upon those 2 Delawares you found.
I'd like to hear more about those reports, Major.
That's simply done. Ask Mr. Stanwell to come here, please. I have reason to believe that Mr. Stanwell is an honorable man. He made a special trip here, alone, and laid certain charges, specifically against the Delawares.
Major?
Mr. Stanwell, I want you to meet these 2 men.
Yes, I saw them arrive. The one they call Hawkeye and Chingachcook.
Mr. Stanwell, these 2 men question your charges that the Delawares are guilty of the crimes you say they committed.
If the Major will allow me to put a question or 2 of my own to these men.
Permission granted.
I understand from the word around the fort that you've been away for the past 3 months, trapping.
That's right.
Have you paid a visit to the Delaware tribe since your return?
We go tomorrow.
Then how do you know that the things that I say about the Delaware are not true?
Delaware chief and tribe, my brothers.
These things you say happened. How can you be sure they're Delawares?
As I told the Major, I had a good description of them from the wagoners who came through the experiences alive.
They were Delawares.
That's all, Mr. Stanwell. I'm sorry to detain you. I know you're on your way back to Tarrytown.
Oh, well, thank you, Major. I'm truly sorry about this. I know how you must feel.
You see, gentlemen.
He not tell truth.
That's a serious charge, Chingachcook.
Major, the job of the Army is to keep peace in the settlements. You want every Indian tribe to be a friendly one.
Of course.
Ever think what'll happen if you're wrong about the Delawares? Blaming them for crimes that they're not responsible for? Well, Chingachcook and I know this territory and its people pretty well. Give us a week to learn what we can before you take any action against the Delawares.
We'll report whatever you find, even if the Delawares are guilty as charged by Mr. Stanwell.
We give you our word, Major.
Go ahead.
that man Stanwell not like Indian.
Yeah, and he doesn't like Delawares in particular.
Must be reason.
Yeah, we better learn what it is.
We follow him to Terrytown?
Later, maybe, but first let's talk to the Delawares. If they're in a mood to talk and not wearing war paint.
War. Fight. Kill. That's what Delaware do now. Time for talk is over.
That not sound like great Chief Black Fox, man of wisdom and peace.
2 more Delaware braves killed by bad white man. Chief cannot stop braves of tribe.
The Indians can't fight the white men. War's no good for anyone.
White men kill, we kill. No good braves die for nothing.
That's right, Black Fox. But your quarrel isn't with all white men, just the ones who are doing you harm.
Delaware not know these men.
What if we can find out who these men are?
How many sons?
7?
Too long.
How many sons it take young braves to reach happy hunting ground, if great Manitou not like battle in which they die?
It is agreed. You have 7 sons. If men not found by them, Delaware moves on warpath. Kill all white people.
I carry this word in your name.
Fort Roberts, that way.
Time for that later. We've got another visit to make.
Oh, Terrytown?
Yeah, that guy Stanwell keeps sticking in my craw. I'd like to find out just what he's up to.
All this kingly tract of land. And at present, the Delaware Indians occupy it. We want them off of it. Blaisdell, as government land agent, you'll see to it that I, with my rather honorable reputation as land speculator, will be presented with the first opportunity to purchase that land at the very hour, the exact hour, the government repossess it from the Delaware. Then, you get those Delawares so mad they'll go out on the warpath.
I think I've done what I had to do rather well, Mr. Johnson.
And give them still more cause. If the Delaware goes on the warpath, the troops will step in. And once that happens, we'll be in clover. The Delaware will be put on a reservation, and all that territory put up for sale by the Indian Land Agency. And so far, the goose hangs high.
Not as high as I'd like to see it. There's a man the Indians call Hawkeye. He might give us trouble.
And get rid of him. It's as simple as that.
Well, job's done. Good.
Another one of Stanwell's supply wagons. Well, nothing seems to be missing.
This Delaware moccasin.
Yeah, it's a Delaware design, all right. Chingachcook. You read what I read?
That white man print. Indian walk like this. White man like this. This prove nothing but white man here.
All right, boys, mount up.
Wait a minute, Ben.
Look. Pete, get that rope.
Whoever did this here wants the Delaware Indians to be blamed for it.
Stay where you are and don't move.
Oh. What are you 2 renegades doing here?
Well, we were on our way to Tarrytown. We heard rifles.
You're a liar. You and your Indians killed my men.
It's a funny thing, Stanwell. You don't seem very surprised to find your men dead. None of you care enough to take a close look at them.
We didn't have to.
I didn't think you did.
You and your men kill them. Make people think Delaware do this.
Well, that's a pretty smart Indian you've got here.
We tell Major at Fort Roberts. He believe.
I don't think Mr. Stanwell's too worried about that. Seems to me he has other plans for us.
Excellent reasoning, my friend. I have indeed. I don't think the Major will object too much when we tell him that we hung the 2 leaders of the Delawares that did this. All right, men, bring them out here. We'll hang them. Looks like we've lost him. Come on, let's report back to Major Tilton. Two more of my men killed. There's no doubt about it now, sir. That white renegade and his Indian friend are plotting an Indian insurrection. It'll be a full-scale war next. Unless you move against the Delaware Nation now, at once.
Mr. Stanwell, you're not giving me orders, I'll let you know. I have no mind to move against the Delawares, as you suggest. Make up 2 details. Take charge personally. Bring Hawkeye and Chingachcook back, dead or alive.
Yes, sir.
They'll keep searching for us like that night and day until they prove something or we do.
We prove first.
We better hurry.
Big hurry. 4 sons gone already. Stanwell make many strange visits tonight.
Yeah. First the Indian Land Agent's office, and now in here.
You know who lived there?
Yeah, Ira Johnson. He's a land speculator. Meeting at this time of night with the Indian Land Agent and a merchant. I'd sure like to get an earful of what's going on in there.
We know here so far.
You're right. It's too much of a risk. That dog's barking might have alerted them.
What we do now?
I've got another idea.
Contracts and obligations appertaining to relations between various Indian tribes and His Majesty's government. If the Delaware at any time and for any reason take up arms and attack a colonial settlement as an act of war, the lands on which the Delaware nation reside, and all title and claim thereto, shall be forfeited to the Crown. There you have it, gentlemen. A final step to be taken in our little plan.
I don't think I quite understand, Mr. Johnson. No white settlement has been attacked by the Delaware.
Not yet, maybe, but one will, at dawn tomorrow.
Well, how can you be so certain, Mr. Johnson? In spite of all Ben's efforts, the Delaware haven't gone on the warpath yet.
Nevertheless, they'll make that attack at dawn, Blaisdell. I'll guarantee it.
How can you be so sure, Ben? How can you positively guarantee that the Delaware will... Oh, I see. You mean that you will?
So? Now we're all in agreement. The risk is big, but our entire gamble is big, and we'll take it.
No hurry about that, Mr. Blaisdell.
Who are you?
Never mind about that. I'd like to take a look at that book, if you don't mind.
Book?
Yes, that book that you got there in your hand.
You can't look at this. It's government property.
Government records are open to the people. I'm one of the people, and I want to see it. Let's see what you have marked. Well, this is interesting. The Delawares take up arms at any time for any reason. The land on which the Delaware nations reside will be forfeited to the Crown.
I not hear of that law.
I reckon a lot of other people haven't either. Buried in this stack of writing. But I think it explains a few things. Thanks for your trouble.
They can't have more than a 5-minute start. Now, Mr. Blaisdell told you the way they went, so go and get them.
Now, just one thing more. You've got 2 hours to do it in. After that, come on back. We have a lot of work to do before this night's over.
Ashes are dead. It's an old fire. We've been out too long. Our time's up. Turn me. Circle the area. See if you can find tracks and in what direction they're leading. Then come back fast and join us. We're gonna move.
Sure thing, Fitz.
Come on.
We make plenty tracks. He follow.
The sign of that tree.
What's your name?
Turnley.
One of Stanwell's men, huh? What's he got in mind for you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've got a job to do. What is it? Where do you meet Stanwell next?
You must have been living alone in the forest too long. I'm not telling you anything.
All right, Chingachcook. Give him the Mohican treatment.
You're not going to do anything to me, Indian. No, wait a minute, Indian.
When you get through with him, meet me back at camp.
I don't want to watch this. No, wait, I'll tell you what you want to know.
All right, what have you got to say?
Stanwell's got us meeting back at Johnson's place in half an hour.
How many are there?
6.
All right, then what?
Then we go to Kingstown.
For a raid?
That's right.
Dressed as Delaware Indians?
Right.
Where do you get the Indian clothes?
Stanwell got them. They're in the stable.
Take him back to Fort Roberts. Tell Major Tilton where Stanwell is going. Tell him to arrest Blaisdell and Johnson.
When's Stanwell coming, Fitz? He'll be right along. You know, it's going to be a cold morning.
Not with all the shooting, it ain't.
Everything all ready, Fitz?
Right, Ben.
Right, count the roll.
Davis.
Yeah.
Rutledge.
Yeah.
Downs. Here. Turnley.
Yeah?
Shepard. Here. Burrow. Here. Everybody mount.
right, come on, come on. Kingstown's just through that timber over there. They all know what to do. Shoot into the houses. Do a lot of Indian war yelling. If anyone gets in the way, kill. Get out fast. All right.
Maybe we better wait a minute, Stanwell.
Wait for what?
Well, these men have been doing a lot of shooting and killing for yourself and Johnson and Blaisdell. Now you're asking them to do a lot more.
It's what you're being paid for and paid well. Now... Hey, who are you? You're not one of our men. Hawkeye.
That's right, Stanwell.
Well, it wasn't very wise of you, was it? Riding along with us like this, you're as good as a dead man right now. Fitz, take care of him. We lost enough time already. All right, men, on to Kingstown.
Under arrest! Every man drop his rifle!
From this day on, we both will live in peace, in greater friendship and understanding.
Hawkeye, friend of Delaware, receive gratitude of my people.
And mine. I certainly wish I had you in my army. You're sure you won't consider my offer?
Well, I'm afraid I like the woods too much. Maybe someday I'll settle down, but as long as there's fish to catch and game to hunt and new land to see, you understand, Major. Thanks anyway. Aranya.
Join us again at this same time next week for another of James Fenimore Cooper's gripping tales of the early American frontier. Another exciting adventure of Hawkeye and his blood brother, Chingachcook, last of the Mohicans.